Hi everyone. So I'm just gonna have a chat on something really that has been is kind of like on my mind, or it's been on my mind for a very, very, very long time. Um, Especially I'm going to chat mostly to Ugandans. Um, this is, I believe, it can be a message. I hope that it's a message, and I hope it will benefit some of the Ugandans, especially the Ugandans that are fighting for their freedom. Especially the Ugandans that are fighting for their freedom, especially the Ugandans that have been oppressed for 40 years, especially the Ugandans that have suffered under one dictatorship rule for 40 years. I am born I'm from the western part of Uganda. I am um, born Ugandan from the western part of Uganda, which is, I grew up in the western part of Uganda, which is Bushane, Mbarara, then Rukunjiri. So I have, I touch all these cities, but I grew up in Kampala as well. So I am going to have a little chat of a dream that I had in 2010. This is a dream that I've kept for years. I had a dream, and in this dream, I happened to be holding a torch. The big torches that they normally use during Olympics, or big, like if there's something big, like a big sports or something. So, we normally see people holding torches, like lighting up. And the Bible says we are the light of the world and the salt of the earth. So in this dream, I happened to be back in Uganda, but that was now in the dream. And I was holding a torch. And in this torch, holding a torch, there was the whole nation, like a nation, Uganda as a nation. I was leading these people into like their promised land, or into, like, we were walking out of captivity, out of enslavement, in walking into victory. So I thought it was just a dream, because I didn't even know how to kind of like explain it, or spiritually, like what if God was communicating to me. I did not even understand what the dream was all about. Then 2018, Bobby Wine, who I did not really know, almost got killed in Arua. So when Bobby Wine almost got killed in Arua, and I saw a whole nation rise up and speak one voice to fight for one man, I picked up interest, and I thought, okay, maybe I should try and find out who Bobby Wine is. Then that was 2018. And in the place of Bobby Wine, it was his driver that got killed. He had a very expensive car, I think, called Tundra, which the government confiscated, and it's still in Arua. He's never recovered his car. But Bobby Wine, after what happened in Arua, he decided to come to challenge the dictatorship, Museveni, in 2021. I still had a dream that Bobby Wine was going to win. They had not even gone through the elections, but I saw that Bobby Wine in the dream, he was going to win by almost 85%. Now, that was the dream. That dream passed. Bobby Wine, apparently, he claims allegedly that Museveni and his people cheated him. So Museveni declares himself, because the whole system is under Museveni in Uganda, because it's a dictatorship rule. So Museveni declares himself into power. Bobby Wine decides to take the case to court. When he took the case to court, I still had a dream. There was confusion in court. So those are like 3 dreams, consecutive 3 dreams about Uganda. Then, for some reason, Bobby Wine pulls out of court. And later on, we learned that one of the judges, a woman judge, did not agree with the other judges. So I think she's in exile at the moment. Now, why am I speaking about this? I'm speaking about this, that these campaigns, especially the same city where they almost killed Bobby Wine in 2018, and what we saw yesterday speaks. It's like a signal. It's like a signal. These guys, despite of tear gassing and everything, these guys marched to Arua City. Thousands and thousands marched, and they overpowered the police. But the reason why I'm coming out here, because and then I also had a dream that that President Museveni is getting close to his end life, like he's getting old basically. And in this dream, I saw that there were people working in the background to make sure that Bobby Wine does not get into the presidential seat. And now the government claims they are protecting the gains. Protecting the gains is because the government is full of the corrupt people, land grabbers. The healthcare is rotten. Education is rotten. The roads are so bad in Uganda. But these are people that are protecting the gains after 40 years. So they're protecting their interest, things that they have stolen from the government. That's why President Museveni will come out and say, it's my oil. It's personal. He personalizes anything that is for Uganda. If it's oil, he will personalize it. If it's gold, he will personalize it. It's my gold. Now he's personalizing the ocean. It's my ocean. So we have seen the pattern, like, you know, and then his intention is actually to bring his son. Like, he has tried to sell his son to the people, but the people have rejected him. But at the same time, President Museveni has I googled the Bahima dynasty. The plan is 100 years, to rule for 100 years. When I googled the Bahima dynasty, and if you dig deep, it's like they are trying to wipe Uganda off the face of Africa. But the reason why I'm talking about this, or the reason why I'm coming out showing my face, is that I believe that God has Uganda in his mind. God sees the tears of Ugandans. God sees the cry of Ugandans. God sees the pain of Ugandans. For over the years, everything that they have gone through, the imprisoning, the killing, the tortures, God sees it all. But I also believe that until Ugandans speak one voice, and I believe that's why Bobi Wine has come out with a Ugandan flag, first of all, to make people love their country, two, to unite all the Ugandans. Because what Museveni has done over the years, he's divided the people based on their tribes. So there has been a lot of division, everyone for themselves. But Bobi Wine is creating unity. And I go back to the dream that I had in 2010 when I saw Ugandans speak one voice, united and marching as a nation. So Bobi Wine has come out with protest vote. Bobi Wine is not calling people to go and riot. Bobi Wine is calling people to hold the flag of Uganda and march peacefully. And march peacefully. And holding a Ugandan flag is a symbol that the government cannot attempt to kill people with no weapons when they're just protesting in a peaceful protest, holding a Ugandan flag and say, enough is enough. We disagree with what Simon Byabakama has because he did it before and he will do it again. Museveni has been declaring himself as president and he will do it again. Until Ugandans wake up, come out of their comfort zone and say enough. And if it means that people from the West, like we saw what happened yesterday in Arua, if people march from West Nile, Eastern Uganda, Western Uganda, and they all march towards to the central where the capital city is, holding a Museveni cannot kill people who have no weapons. But the thing is, I don't think that Bobi Wine can fight one man. Bobi Wine is not even a trained army. He can fight a whole government. No, he can't. He needs the entire country to back him up. He needs the entire country to speak one voice. He needs the entire country to move. And guess what? I think that even when because God is always on the side of the oppressed. God has never been on the side of the oppressors. God is always fighting for the helpless. God is always fighting for the people who are oppressed. God is always, and it takes that faith to move, and the heavens will back you up. Because I believe that even is it Second Kings, when there was a siege, there was a siege in the city, and people were literally eating their own kids. But it took only 4 lepers, to say that, you know what, let's take a move. Let's go to the city. Who knows? Maybe someone will be kind and give us some food. If we stay here, we die. If we go to the city, who knows? Someone might be kind and give us some food. But it is until these people started marching and moving towards the city that the heavens moved and backed them up. So we do not even know how long the heavens has been waiting on Ugandans to rise up and say enough is enough. But Ugandans, they need to speak one voice. Ugandans, they need to unite. This whole business of I'm minding my business, I'm doing, because like I saw one TV presenter who was saying, we have been minding our businesses, we're not politicians, we're just doing our small businesses and we're okay. So one person is okay to be okay while the entire city is suffering. It doesn't make sense to me that one person in a whole, like in the whole city, is okay. She has her business, she's running her business, but the rest are probably like 10 neighbors are sleeping hungry. They have no food. They can't take their kids to the hospital. You go to the hospital. I have a mother who lives in Uganda. I have to fit her hospital bills because of her health conditions. And she goes to the government hospital all the time. But starting from the gloves, paracetamol, needles, everything has to be, they start bribing from the time they enter the hospital up to when they see a doctor. People will die and they will jump over them just because they have no money. Some people's dead bodies cannot be released from Mulago Hospital just because the family has no money to pay for them. That's not a country. And for me, when I see people who are living overseas, like in the United States, like in Europe, and they are still supporting this government that is in power. They have family members who are depending on them. They cannot survive. I just ask myself, so why are you even, because you haven't even been exposed. You are in a country where the system will make sure that their citizens, even when you're in that country, as long as you're in that country, they will not leave you just because you're a foreigner. Later on, they are citizens. They will look after their citizens. They will look after their elderly. They will look after their children. They will look after they have created systems that look after the disabled, the elderly, the children. Everyone is catered for. But there is no simple system in Uganda that works. There is no simple system in Uganda that works. The rich are rich. And they're able to, because I don't understand that, someone will get ill and they'll have to fly them to Nairobi when Uganda should have hospitals. And how many people in Uganda can afford to fly to Nairobi, to India, or to UK, or to Germany, or to the United States? But then people forget that even the money that is flying these ministers out of the country to treat them is taxpayers' money. It's not their money, it's taxpayers' money, because they're working for you guys. But you, the common person, when you get ill, you have to face it. You have to go to the hospital. The Ugandan hospital that has no medicine, has nothing. Sometimes the doctors are not even there because they have to survive. They have to look after their families. So, anyway, I just thought I should come here. Arua people, I salute you. But Ugandans, they need to look at what happened in Arua, and they need to do it on the 15th of January. 15th of January. What happened in Arua is exactly what should happen in the whole of Uganda on the 15th of January. We must see, even if it's not for us, because for us, we've grown, we've lived our lives, but let it be for our children and grandchildren. Don't just keep quiet and be comfortable in your own comfort zone just because you're living a comfortable life. No, speak for your children and grandchildren and grandchildren. Okay? And have a wonderful day. Protest vote 2026, the 15th of January. Hold your flag, Ugandan flag. That's what identifies you as a Ugandan. A Ugandan flag identifies you as a Ugandan. Hold your flag and people start marching towards Kampala. If Simon Byabakama makes a mistake of thinking that he can work for his boss, President Museveni, let the Ugandans, you have the power to change. You have the power to put a president that you want to govern your country, to govern it well. It's not just about, because we live in democratic countries. Once they put someone in the seat and they kind of like start messing up, they take them out. They make them uncomfortable until they resign. But in Uganda, or Africa, it doesn't work like that. So it is the people that are going to rise up and speak. Your voice, your vote matters. But it's not enough, because I know that the General Nareso has already come out to kind of like, they are trying to kind of like intimidate people to don't come out after voting, go back home, sit down. It's not the ballot that makes the decision. So if it's not the box that makes the decision, then why are you calling people to vote? Ugandans, vote, and vote in big numbers, and vote for the president that will serve the nation, that has the interest of the people at heart. This is not even about education, because Idi Amin, who was not educated, he governed the country better than any other president, because it is Idi Amin. Everything that is in Uganda, it was Idi Amin. President Museveni, 40 years. Idi Amin, 8 years. President Museveni, 40 years. In the 40 years, the country has gone backwards to like 100 years. Yet Idi Amin, when he was in a presidential seat for the 8 years, the country did not even owe any penny. Instead, he was helping the people in need. So Ugandans, if you know, like one of the ministers, she came out and said, you're the people who feel, you're the people who you need to rise up and fight for your rights, because, and she was right, because she said, we don't feel the potholes when we are driving, because we are driving in 4x4s. We don't feel, the healthcare is bad, because when we get sick, we just call the president, and the president will put us on a plane and we'll go overseas. Even though she was saying it arrogantly, but she was speaking the truth. It is you selling in the market. It is you selling on the street. It is you that you cannot even afford to take your children to school. It is you that is selling land to pay school fees for your child, and then tomorrow your child is going to Arab countries to work as a maid. It is you that has got to rise up and speak. It is you that has got to rise up and back up Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine needs every person's back up. This is not even about Bobby Wine. Bobby Wine could live anywhere comfortably. He was very comfortable. But for him to actually take on the assignment and say, I want to see a better Uganda for my people, we need to respect that guy. Because it's not an easy assignment for someone to fight dictatorship. But we pray that God will sustain him and God will surround him with the right people of the like mind. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.